हारिणे जय सासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you very much. So today is a very auspicious day, also Akshaya Tritiya, and also this the Chandan Jatra of Lord Jagannath begins from today. So this particular tithi, the Parsuram has taken by. There's so many good things. Sudama went to Lord Krishna, and he got all the wealth and all. There's so many important things are there on this today. So today also Lord Vasudev has compiled the Mahabharata. Anyway, today we are going to start our chapter 2 session, as we have, sorry, this is not the chapter, yeah. We are going to start the chapter of Canto 1, chapter 2 of Bhagavatam. So once I have to share this. So today also Lord Vasudev is compiling.
तो खाने दे हमारे खाने दे हैं.
So I'm sharing this recapping of last session classes. So we are starting the Canto 1 and chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is the theme is divinity and divine service. So we have gone through this process, like Sutta Goswami offering obeisances to Sukadev Goswami, because the Naimisarana, the forest in Naimisarana forest, all the 80,000 of sages, they have assembled. So when Sutta Goswami came and they have offered the seat, they have requested to speak about the Bhagavatam Katha, and they asked some few questions, 6 questions, primarily 6 questions. And 2 of the questions, what is the ultimate good and essence of all scriptures? And we have gone through these 2 questions, almost up to 17 verses. So we will have a recap of this. So the recapping is that, first of all, this Bhagavatam is very, very important. So people do not understand. The Prabhupada said that our knowledge is up to Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadasebhya Bhagavatam Katha iti jasya sravana matrena murtu sansara vimuchyate. Sansara bandhana vimuchyate. Simply by hearing the process. And today also our theme is hearing, because from 1 to 17, this is the process of how to come to the stage of understanding Krishna is there. The process is very simple method of hearing. So this hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is so important. So we can go through the recapping. Sutta Goswami is taking the seat of Vyasasana after being offered. Then he's glorifying his spiritual master, Sukadev Goswami. This is the manners, this is the etiquette before we start. And he's also invocation prayer, Narayana Namaskritta Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayan. So this is also invocation prayer before we start Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. We should offer respectful obeisance to Naranaran Rishi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Naranaran Rishi, the supermost human being, and Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and Srila Vasudev, the author. Then in this way, he's answering the most important question: what is the ultimate good for the people in general? The questions are very much important question for everybody benefit. Before even answering it, Sutta Goswami is thanking all these sages for this wonderful question. Because question related to Krishna is very much important, because it punnati bhuvana triloko. It purifies all the 3 worlds. So this is therefore this Vasudeva Katha is very, very important. Understanding the Vasudeva Katha, hearing about the Vasudeva Katha, chanting about Vasudeva Katha is very, very important. It is stated here in this verse, Vasudeva Katha Prasna Purusantin Punnatihi Bhaktram Pruchakkam Stotram Tatapada Salilam Datha. So the Ganges emanating from the toe of Lord Vishnu purifies 3 worlds, the upper, middle, lower. but simply, uh,
And the bathroom is acha.
one sec, let me mute everyone. So by simply hearing the Krishna Katha, so by similarly, when one asks question about the pastime characteristic of the Lord Vasudeva Krishna, three varieties of men are purified: the speaker, preacher, he who inquires, and the people in general who listen. So this is therefore he thanked to all the sages by questioning such a wonderful question, because it is for the larger interest of the people, as it is associated with Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So in answer to this, there's one beautiful question, very important verses. Savai punsam paro dharma jato bhaktir adhokyata. Ahituki apratiyata jadatma suprasidati. To answer this, the supreme occupation dharma of humanity is by which men can attain the loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be more unmotivated, uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So ultimate good for the people is bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that prema pumartha mahan. The purpose of human life is to develop the love of the Godhead. That is the highest. Once you attain, there is nothing beyond this. That is the highest. Even I was giving that time the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj. I came through a beautiful verses where it is said that you can remember these verses, very important verses. Etavan ekalo kosmi punsa swartha parahasmita ekanta bhaktir govinde yet sarvatra tadikhanam. Very two things are very important for the human form of life. In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is only goal of life. And this much alone is ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scripture. What is that? First one is Ekanta Bhakti Govinde. Ekanta means exclusive bhakti. Not that I worship Krishna, I worship demigod, I worship so many things, is Maya. No, Ekanta Bhakti means exclusive, unalloyed. No karma, no jnana. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam. Every ekanta bhakti, exclusive. Jnana karmadi anarbitam. No more karma jnana misa, not karma jogi, jnana jogi. Exclusive devotion. And second thing, that when you have this exclusive devotion or love of Godhead, then you automatically will see Lord in everywhere. Why? Because if you love someone, you will see him or her in everything, in everywhere actually. Krishna also say in Bhagavad Gita, what is that? Jemam paschanti sarvatra, jemam paschati sarvatra, tasyaham na pranasami. Jemam paschanti sarvatra, sarvam maiche paschami, na cha pranasati, naham cha pranasati, na sa cha me pranasami. So Krishna said that whosoever sees me everywhere and everything in me, he is never lost. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said the same thing, that Rai Ramananda topics. Stavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti. Krishna bhakti hoye, what is that? Krishna Stavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti. Only the what is that? Only he sees this tara ishta devata smriti. That means a person who will develop the love of Godhead, he will see everything in Krishna, everything manifestation of the energy. He will not see that material it is mobile, immobile, it is a matter, it is a spirit. He will see everything is part and parcel, everything is manifestation of energy. And everything in him also, because Krishna says, Am sarvasya prabhava, mataha sarvam pravatate. So in this way, he will see the Lord. So therefore, the savai punsam paro dharma jato bhaktir adhokyat. And one more thing Krishna told to Uddhava, that once you get this love of Godhead, now there is nothing beyond this, Uddhava. This is the ultimate end. There is no beyond this. There is nothing to be achieved. Bhaktim labdva vasadhava kim anyat abhishyasate. Krishna said that what more remains to be accomplished for the perfect devotee after achieving devotional service unto me, the supreme absolute truth. whose quality are innumerable, who have the embodiment of ecstatic experience. So this is our end point. Therefore, Prabhupada says that Srimad Bhagavatam is our end of knowledge, because Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, one will develop the love for Godhead. And that is the ultimate. Prema Pumartha Maha. Savai Punsam Paro Dharma, Jato Bhakti Radhakya. That is the ultimate goal. Everybody has destination in this one, to come to the point of loving Krishna. So therefore, they are answering this one. After answering that, what is the essence of all scriptures? So what is the essence of all scripture? Because in this age of Kali, everybody has short lives. Everybody is misdirected. Everybody has Manda Sumanda Mataya, bad association, disturbed. So we have very short of time. Prabhupada lecture, Prabhupada purport, everything, one thing common is that he is so much in urgency. He is so much urgency as if there is no time. This is the way we should execute devotional service. Tomorrow never comes. We may die anytime. Prabhupada always says that. So urgency is there in his speech, in his lecture. Urgency, because we have no time, any time, padam padam yad vipadam. Therefore, you take up Krishna consciousness as soon as possible. No prior requisite. No need to learn something. Just take up from wherever you are. Jena tena prakarena manaha Krishna nivashyate. Jena tena prakarena. Somehow, agar you take up, then you will be saved. You will be saved. At least you will not slide down or glide down to the animal lives. And it will take a long time to again going through evolutionary process and coming to the human form of life. Therefore, Prabhupada, all his lecture purport has urgency that you take up Krishna consciousness. You have no time. Time and tide wait for no one. So therefore, this Sutta Goswami is answering this question, what is the essence of all scripture? We have no time to read Vedas, Vedanta, Vedanga, Purana, Mahabharata, Samhita, Upanishada. So many things are there. We have no time. Very less time we have got. So therefore, we should know what is actually the essence of all the scriptures. So to answer this, Sutta Goswami is answering Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayajata Janati Asubairagam Jnana Chayat Ahitukam. What is the essence of all the scripture? To render devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. One immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. The essence of all scripture say that you render devotional service to the Supreme Lord. As soon as you do that, your byproduct that you get knowledge and detachment. Our bondage, our cause of bondage, material bondage, is due to ignorance and attachment. These two things are cause of the bondage. We are attached and we are ignorance. And two things will be gone. First of all, our ignorance will be cleared. We will get knowledge that what is the goal of life. And another thing that detached. Because once we get the knowledge that I belong to Krishna, my goal is to go back to Godhead, then I will not attach to this foreign nature or material world. Without knowledge, one cannot develop the detachment. We have so many attachments, so many attachments. So here it is saying that essence of all scripture is to render service to the Supreme Lord. In this way, we develop the knowledge how to go back to Godhead, and simultaneously we will be detached. Consequently, will detach from all this material attachment. This is my body, this is my family, this is my country, this is my attachment, this is my society, so on and so forth. So in this way, the second question has been answered. Then moving forward, we have learned last classes that what is the goal of all dharma occupations? All the dharma and the occupation should be to dharma sanustita punsam vishwaksena kathachud. So he's telling that everybody is engaged in activities, but all these activities must provoke the attraction for the message of Godhead. If it is not provoking or if it is not causing, then it is useless labor. Useless labor. What is the use of this so much labor if we are not coming to the point of purifying our existence? Supposing in a jail, I'm working hard, but I am not getting any point so that I can release soon from the jail. There is a option in the jail. Supposing you are being entitled to be prisoned for 10 years, you can reduce it if you work hard inside the jail. You do some work hard inside the jail, means some kind of work. They have this system in India also in jail. So if you are working hard and if you are not getting the point to release from the prison house soon, then what is the use of that? The whole idea of our engagement, our work, hard labor must come to the point of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, useless. You may be Bill Gates, you may be big shot. Then what is the hard? They may say that I have worked so hard, therefore I have worked so hard, therefore I have got this got this result. But this is all useless labor. You may have a success, but this is useless labor because you have not come to the point of Krishna consciousness. You have not come to the point of hearing Krishna Katha, attracted to Krishna message of Krishna. So what is the use of all your Bill Gates throughout your life? You Steve Jobs, you worked hard. What happened? You are died pancreatic cancer prematurely. Then useless labor. You have not you have not made your life successful. You have not passed your final examination. Final examination means Ante Narayana Smriti. Means at the time of death we remember Krishna. At the time of death, it is not easy to remember Krishna unless we practice, just like examination. The examination, if we want to come out flying colors in final examination, we must have a rigorous and vigorous preparation for the entire calendar year. If you have not prepared properly in the examination, you cannot come out flying colors. This is not like bluffing guess mark like this, no. So we have to prepare. So therefore, if you have not prepared whole your life for Krishna consciousness practice, you have not done the practice, then you cannot at the time of death remember Krishna and get out. Therefore, it is said that useless labor. You have worked so much hard, you have got so much material wealth, but it is all failure. On the other hand, a person, although he is practicing, somehow or another he forgot. He do not remember Krishna. Still he is gaining. Narada Muni is telling, no, he is good. He is still successful than Bill Gates. What is the use of Bill Gates? Is our normal bhakta is better than Bill Gates because he has some success at least in the next life. So in these beautiful verses, Narada Muni is telling that one who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature state. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duty, does not gain anything. That means useless labor. Sarma evai kevalam. Sarma evai. Einstein will start again ABC. He will not start with the theory of relativity. Sir Isaac Newton will not start in the next bar the theory of gravity, gravitational forces. He will start with A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. But a spiritual person, those who have done some practice, although he is not successful, he will start from the point he has left. Supposing I have done 10% of spiritual activities, I will start from 11th point in the next bar. That is also confirmed by Krishna when Arjuna asked the question about unsuccessful yogi. So Krishna confirmed this actually. Narada Muni confirmed, Krishna also confirmed here. Krishna say that in these beautiful verses, 41. So Krishna say, if unsuccessful after long practice of yogi, he takes birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So this is the question asked by the Arjuna, that what will happen if person is unsuccessful yogi after many years of enjoyment on the planet of the pious living entity is born into a family of righteous people or into family of rich aristocrats. So this is always a success for the unsuccessful yogi. He will get a chance again to practice Krishna consciousness for furthering his advancement, for furthering his Krishna consciousness. But a person who is not in Krishna consciousness, useless labor, sarma evai kevalam. Therefore, it is said that the practice of religiosity or Krishna consciousness or spirituality should not be done for the economic development. No, 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 no. That is not the actual aim of the occupational duty. All occupational duty not meant for all kind of economic development. It is meant for ultimate liberation, going back to Godhead. That is stated. Even I was reading the last class, as I told, I'm in the Prahlad Narsingha Katha series. So I learned these beautiful verses. I was quoting these verses. Endeavors merely for sense gratification or material happiness through economic development are not to be performed. For they result only loss of time and energy. Same things. Bhagavatam is everywhere the same thing. Sometimes they say that book changes. This minor book changes, of course, it is not allowed by any devotee to transgress the order of spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. But if you really little bit of advance, you can see that they cannot change the books. Because same point is throughout the Bhagavatam, throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, throughout Bhagavad Gita. What they can change? One or two they can change, but they cannot change everywhere. Here it is also same thing. It is a loss of time and energy with no actual profit. If one's endeavor are direct towards Krishna consciousness, one can surely attain the spiritual platform of self-realization. There is no such benefit from engaging oneself in economic development. The same point has been here mentioned by Sutta Goswami, that all occupational engagement are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. No, that is not meant for that. So further he says that kamasya nendriya priti lava jive java jivasya tattva jigyasa na artha chaya karma vi. Today in the Bhagavatam class, His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu also giving these verses, that sense gratification. So sense gratification, life desire should not be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life, self-preservation. Since a human being meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be goal of one. And Mercedes, you having a BMW car, what it is meant for? You have got BMW, Mercedes, or very Ferrari. That is not meant for loading, unloading goods. Is meant for a luxurious purpose. Similarly, human form of life is a unique opportunity. It is for the different purpose, high purpose. Just like Prabhupada used to give example. Supposing you are in a company or you are in a government service, you are an officer or a big person in company. They have given facilities, car and buildings, palatial buildings, so many facilities has been given to them. Why? Because they will have a cool brain to manage the company or manage the office. That is why they have been provided all this facility. Therefore, this human form of life is meant for that purpose, not for the purpose of working like a today's verse morning Srimad Bhagavatam classes in the temple in Singapore. This is the verses. Nayam deha dehabujam lilloke kastam kaman arhati vidbujam topodivyam putrika jena satyam suddhate. Lord Rishabdev told his son that, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form of life should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for the dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance, austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified. And when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness, which is continuous forever. So whole idea is that. Whole idea to purify our existence. Our so-called existence is not contaminated. Therefore, we are suffering. Therefore, we have to purify our existence. Everybody wants happiness. Due to this contaminated existence, our happiness is curtailed. Our happiness is exhausted. Our happiness is restricted. Our happiness is limited. To get the unexhausted happiness, Brahma Sokhyam Anantam. This is what I was telling. Brahma Sokhyam Anantam, unlimited happiness. We have to purify our existence. That means we have to come to spiritual existence. And for that, we have to do the tapasya. What is that tapasya? This is the tapasya. Hearing Bhagavatam, chanting, glorifying Bhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna. This Krishna consciousness is our tapasya. So in this way, is moving forward. So moving forward, Suttadev Goswami telling that this so many great sages, inquisitive students, equipped with knowledge and detachment, realize the absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Sutra. This is the process of realizing absolute truth. Absolute truth should not be realized sentimentally. Oh, I have dreamed Krishna yesterday. Krishna is in my heart. Particularly Indian, they have all the things, all this drama, all the sentimental provocation, all the emotional affair. Oh, Krishna is there. Yes, Krishna, give me this one. I'm waiting in the bus. I'm thinking of Krishna. Krishna, send me bus. Like so many sentimental provocation. But not here. It is said that it is not the sentimental provocation. Devotional service is not the product of sentimental provocation. Rather, with knowledge and detachment, one can realize the absolute truth. And that knowledge and detachment comes, as we have read previously, that by rendering service. Bhakti has two children, siblings, knowledge and detachment. Wherever bhakti goes, knowledge and detachment will come. That is the symptoms, that is the test, that whether one is advanced in Krishna consciousness, whether he has developed this knowledge, developed the detachment. He has no knowledge of Shastra, scriptural knowledge, and no detachment. There is no question of bhakti. Bhakti cannot be standalone. Bhakti must have a detachment. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Jnana, Vairagya. This Jnana, Vairagya is important. So therefore, then this Tasradadana Mune Jnana Vairagya Juktaya Pasyanti Atmani Cha Atmanam Bhaktya Sutta Grahita. So then we're moving, so then he's moving, we have read about the Varnashrama system introduced because of, there are so many peoples are there, varieties of people, they are infected by varieties of diseases, varieties of sins, acting in different modes, goodness, passion, mixed mode also. And so therefore to elevate them, this Varnashrama system is there. Some Siddhir Hari Tosanam, to come to point of worshipping Hari. Whole idea is that. Therefore, tasmad ekena manasa bhagavata satuttam pati shroteva kititavacha dehata pujyasya nityada. Very important. Therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, what's the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotee. That is very important. Hearing Bhagavatam. Prabhupada one time was giving classes in Bhagavatam. So some devotee was going, he's standing and going out. Immediately Prabhupada asked, where are you going? Prabhupada, I have got a service. Prabhupada, immediately, what nonsense service you are doing? Your first service to hear Bhagavatam, hear Krishna Katha. If you do not hear, you cannot cook properly, you cannot chant properly, you cannot worship properly. First of all, hear, then you purify, then only you can do the other services very perfectly. In the later chapter, we will see that how important this hearing process, hearing in later, not chapter, later verses. So hearing is very important. Tasmat ekena manasa, very attentive hearing, one pointed attention. Not that I just hearing. There is different kind of hearing is there. First of all, no hearing is very, very bad. Many devotees, they do not want to hear. But Shastra is condemning them that no, this is not good. You are not hearing. Here Shastra says, Bhagavatam says that, oh my Lord, person who are bereft of all auspicious performance of chanting and hearing about your transcendental activity are certainly unfortunate. Very unfortunate those who are not hearing. Are also bereft of good sense. They engage in inauspicious activities, enjoying sense gratification for a little while. For a little while, they are doing all the things. But they are very unfortunate. Not only that, Shastra again condemned, Prabhupada's favorite verses, this one. Prabhupada quote always this verse. One who has not listened to the message about the prowess, marvelous act of personality of Godhead, has not sung or chanted loudly over these songs about the Lord, is to be considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snake's tongue, like the tongue of frog. So here it is condemned that no, you are not hearing. What is this? You must hear. The first principle of Navada Bhakti is Ravanam. One must hear it. So that is the one point. Then second point we will go that Tasmad Ekana Manasa Satattam Swateva Kitite Bachat Dhayata Pajava. What I was telling, non-hearing is not good. Another kind of hearing called spaced out hearing. Spaced out means people are just inattentive hearing. That is also not good. Inattentive. We should be attentively. Sometimes pretending to be hearing. That is also not good. The most important hearing is very, very attentively hearing. That is important. Though Shastra says that one should hear very, very attentively the Harikatha. It is stated in these beautiful verses that you should attentively. Sinbatam sadhaya nityam vrinantasya chestita kalena nati dirghena bhagavana. Person who hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly are always taking the matter very seriously. Will have the personality of God and Krishna manifested in their heart within short time. Very short. You started now hearing Bhagavatam. Even you do not understand also. We will get purified soon. We will get the blessing soon. Auspicious. The Shastra cannot be wrong. Prabhupada himself said that. I do not understand what my Guru Maharaj used to say. Even in our Bengali, his language is local language, Bengali, mother tongue. I also do not understand. Simply I hear. That's all. And my Guru Maharaj very much appreciated this quality of hearing. And he initiated me. So this hearing process is very, very important. Therefore, sword in hand, intelligent man caught through the binding no reactionary work by remember the personality of God. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Sutta Goswami says, who will not pay attention? Because this message will cut all our miseries, mitigate all our miseries. Therefore, this Vasudev is speaking beautiful verses in this 177. Jasyang bhai Sri Amanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Rutpadate Punsun Soko Moho Bhayo Pahar. Simply by once giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, sprout up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. How important is hearing? Simply by giving oral reception, the love of Godhead, which is the ultimate goal of life, as we have read it. Krishna also spoke to Uddhava. There is nothing beyond this. This is the final point of our success, love of Godhead. And one gets love of Godhead by hearing process. It will sprout up. Love of Godhead will sprout up for Krishna. And not only that, all these miserable things will be gone. All the miseries of material existence will be dry up. There are so many verses. Let me go a little forward because we have to complete the other verses. So, Sushrusa Sadadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Mahaseva Vipra Punya Tirthana. This is a very important point. But how to develop this urge for hearing? I want to hear, but I have no urge for hearing. This urge for hearing developed. One is serving the devotees. By such service, one gain affinity of hearing message of Vasudeva. So here, one thing important, today in the classes, Prabhu was telling the whole cycle of this and he was quoting these verses. He was telling that to develop this hearing, we have to serve the devotee. That means you have to associate with devotee. And to associate with devotee, one must have some kind of austerity. What is that austerity? Austerity means austerity of practicing devotional service. This is what Prabhu's that he was giving, quoting that. So there is a linkage in that. So whole idea is that you have to urge when you are engaging in the service of the Krishna, service of the Supreme Lord, service of the devotees or association of devotees. Or twice one says, then Srinvatam Sokatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hudanto Snani Avadrani Vidunati Swasa. What is the benefit of hearing that? Benefit hearing means all the abhadrani. We have got so many inauspicious things, so many dirty things from time immemorial. Unless we cleanse it, we cannot come to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Antagatam cha papam, desante antagatam papam jananam punya karmana. Whole idea is to come to Krishna. But we cannot come to Krishna unless we cleanse all our dirty things. All our dirty things has to be cleansed. Otherwise, we cannot come to Krishna. Here Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, Jesantu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana te dhondo mohanir mukta bhajante mam viddhavrataha. Person who have acted piously in previous lives, in this life, whose sinful action are completely eradicated, are freed from all duality of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So unless one cleans up all these sins, all abhadrani, inauspiciousness, one cannot come to the Krishna, one cannot approach to Krishna. Because we have so many dirty things, so many inauspicious things in the heart, right from the birth. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, right from the birth, we have got this inauspiciousness. Simply by material birth, human beings become attached within their mind to personal sense gratification, long duration of life, sense activity, bodily strength, sexual potency, friends, family. Their minds are thus absorbed in which defeats their actual self-interest. Right from the birth, we have got this inauspiciousness. We have got the dirty things. We have got this attachment. We have got this proclivity, propensity. So therefore, we have to clean the process. What is the best way to clean the process? Here it is stated. This 5-6 verses is very, very important to learn. It says that Sinvatam Sokatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hudantastani Abhadrani Vidhunati Swasata. Simply by process of hearing, all this dirty thing will be cleansed. Krishna himself will come and clean them. It is stated that Krishna will come and cleanse us. In very first, second verses of Bhagavatam, it is stated that Krishna will come and clean all the things. We don't have to do things. This is a medicine which is taken by the ears, not by mouth. The hearing is a potent medicine. It's an express way. It's a potent medicine. It is stated here that this beautiful, the second verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Sadhya Hudaya Avaruddhate Tata Kritivi Sususavi Tatakshana. As soon as you hear what will happen, as soon as one attentively, submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, Supreme Lord is established within the heart. Avaruddhate means he will come and close the door, not that he will come and go back immediately. He will come and close, regularly hearing. Nasta prayasu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata saivaya. Regularly hearing, it cleanses everything. All inauspiciousness, everything will be cleansed by the process. And in another verses also Krishna says, not Krishna, I think Sukadev Goswami, Pravishta Kanna Randrena Swanam Bhava Saruraham Gunati Samalam Krishna Salilasya Dathasara. Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord, enter into the heart of self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of the loving relation. Thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lost anger, hankering. Thus it acts like autumnal rain upon pools of muddy water. So this is process, this cleansing one, detergent. The Hari Katha attracts Hari because it acts like a detergent to clean all our impurity, all our inauspiciousness. This is a process of eliminating inauspiciousness from the heart. Therefore, all this Bhagavatam, entire Bhagavatam is speaking the same point of hearing. When people glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead or simply hear about His power, Lord personally enters their heart, cleanses away a very trace of misfortune, just as the sun removes the darkness as a powerful wind drives away the clouds. Same point. Everywhere in Bhagavatam, the same point is mentioned. How important the hearing is. What so here it is said that those words describing the glories of all famous personality of Godhead are attractive, releasable, and ever fresh. Indeed, such words are perpetual festival for the mind, the dry of the ocean of misery. So how much emphatically stressed by Srimad Bhagavatam that hearing is very, very important things in devotional service. Bhagavata Sravana, Out of Panchanga Bhakti, 5 limbs of Bhakti, one of the Bhakti is Panchanga Bhakti, is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And while Srimad Bhagavatam hearing, all other processes are there. It covered all the process also. Therefore, the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important. Krishna him here itself say that by hearing one can cleanses all the things. Everything will begin. The beautiful verses here is there. So it is said that who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are sum total of place of pilgrimage, who is worshipped by the great sages and devotees. Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the whole of one's ear. That is very important. That how hearing our Krishna Katha, hearing our Bhagavatam will cut off all our bondage and prepare us, enable us to go back to Godhead. So therefore, throughout the Bhagavatam, this process of hearing, the paramount important of hearing has been very much stressed. Very much stressed. Unless we clean this all inauspicious and dirty thing, we cannot go to God. God is full pure, pavitram, supremely pure. Param Brahma, Paramadhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam. Arjuna is very nicely telling Bhagavad Gita 10:12 that you are supremely purified. And we are not pure. How a impurity can approach a purity? That is not possible. You want to enter into the fire, Prabhupada say, you have to be a fiery body. You have to enter into the water, you have to have a watery body. And we have no idea how to purify ourselves. Sinvatam Sokatha Krishna. Krishna Katha is so important. And every time there is a phrase Krishna Katha. Gopi is also very nicely speaking that Tavakathamrutam Tapta Jivanam. The nectar of your words and the description of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. The narration transmitted by learned says to eradicate one sinful reaction, bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. Whosoever hears them, it bestows good fortune. Therefore, it is called Bhavosodo, means it is a medicine. Medicine to get out from this spiritual world, from this prison house. Glorification of Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in Parampara system. It is the convent from spiritual master disciples. Such glorification is realized by those no longer interested in false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Description of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will see hearing glorification? So who will see it unless one really do not want to go back to Godhead? Only the person or devotee who has no determination to go back to Godhead. He want to procrastinate, prolong, postpone. Okay, let me see, okay, fine, see. I will see like this. That is called complacency. Prabhupada said that complacency. No determination to go back to Godhead. No urgency. So this hearing process has been very much stressed. Then we will move forward little. 1 to 18, it is said that Nasta Prayesu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. This is a remedy for eliminating all inauspicious things within the heart, which are considered to be obstacles in the path of self-realization. Remedy means association with Bhagavatas. There are two kinds of Bhagavatam. What is the two kinds of Bhagavatam? One book Bhagavatam, which we are doing that. We are hearing. I am also hearing by repeating Prabhupada's word. So we are hearing Bhagavatam. One. Another Bhagavatam is that pure devotee associating. We are doing pure devotee by hearing from Srila Prabhupada's purport, Srila Prabhupada's compilation. Both way we have to associate. Who is the person Bhagavatam? Book Bhagavata, person Bhagavata. Person Bhagavata means who is conducting his life according to book Bhagavata. Prabhupada is refining so beautifully. That means he is conducting his life according to the Bhagavatam teaching. That is called a person Bhagavata, pure devotee. So that means associating with Srila Prabhupada teaching, Bani association. And hearing, reading, or discussing about Bhagavatam, the two things we have to do in order to nashta price almost all this dirty thing will, not 100%, almost all. Prabhupada used to say 70%, sometimes he told 90% like that. That is a real association. This is a real process of eliminating. Therefore, this Bhagavatam classes has been introduced for that purpose, that we all will purify by associating with Bani, with pure devotee person, Bhagavatam Srila Prabhupada, because it is his instruction, his purport, his lecture, and by hearing it, by discussing this one. We all are hearing, I'm just repeating the word, I'm not speaking actually. We are hearing from Prabhupada actually, because he is given all the purport and lecture. Then by the process, what will happen? Because inauspicious thing in the heart means what? Inauspicious thing heart means mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and mixed mode. So we are contaminated. Material world conducted by set of action. What is that scope of action is? We are conducted by the three modes of material nature. Either by goodness, passion, or ignorance, or sometimes mixed mode. And we are not constantly in one mode. That is changing. 14:10 Bhagavatam say, Bhagavad Gita. It's changing. Sometimes goodness is very good. Morning we get up, we are in mode of goodness. We go to chanting, we will think of God like this. Little bit of afternoon, we slowly come to mode of passion. And night, mode of ignorance. You can go to a prison house, you can go to a jail, or you can go to a police station. You ask, how many cases are coming in the morning, afternoon, and night? They will say that most of the cases or most of the sinful activity done in the night, that is mode of darkness, mode of ignorance. Mode of passion is okay, little, but mode of goodness, very less cases, very less criminal activities. Why? Because modes are fighting each other. So we have so many inauspicious things, means we are infected by modes. Material world means sangha dosa, means we are infected by modes, either this mode, that mode. Even mode of goodness also infected, because sometimes it will be mixed with passion and ignorance. So to come out from, to even cure from this all infection from the modes, we have to nashta prayasu abhadresu, means regularly we have to hear. It's a regular process. Prabhupada practical given, Prabhupada whatever he has given us temple program, very much practical according to the book Bhagavatam. Therefore he is a person Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam it is stated. And Prabhupada given a practical lesson that every temple must hold the Bhagavatam class morning. Every temple. Why he does regular practicing. Every day. Nashta prayasya abhadreshu nityam Bhagavata seva. It's not 7 days. So 7 days program is not authorized. India they say Bhagavata Saptaha. That is not authorized. Here say nityam Bhagavata regularly. Why 7 days? Because Parikshit Maharaj did not have time, only 7 days. So Sukadev Goswami has to complete with the 7 days. But we have no notice of 7 days. 7 minutes also we have no notice. 7 seconds also we do not know. Better to, as regularly you should hear, whenever there is opportunity to hear Bhagavatam. Practical, Prabhupada, everything Prabhupada has taught us, very practical according to the Bhagavatam. Therefore, he is a person Bhagavatam, who is acting according to book Bhagavatam. This is the greatness of Prabhupada. Later on, when we read everything, we slowly realizing the greatness of the Prabhupada, how much he has contributed for us, how much he has done for us. And painstakingly, night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he used to get up, wake up to write Bhagavatam. Always he said, let me finish at least Bhagavatam. Whatever it may be, let me die, I do not know, I may die, let me finish this Bhagavatam. Because this Bhagavatam itself is enough to deliver the mankind. How much he was sleeping, he sacrificed his sleep, an old man of 70 years, above 70 years when he was writing. 1 o'clock night, he is getting up and writing for 2-3 hours. For what purpose? He is already realized for us. But we are so ingratitude to read his books, to discuss about this. So much ingratitude. Just like a child, if he realizes that his mother has sacrificed or sold his jewelries for his education, a child is supposed to be very gratitude. So gratitude, oh, he has done, so I should be very sincere. I should study properly. But for our case, although we say I belong to Prabhupada, I belong to Prabhupada, I belong to Prabhupada, but where is this belonging if we do not recognize his sacrifice and show respect, show gratitude? Therefore, Prabhupada says that you want to pay my debt, one cannot repay his debt to spiritual master. There's a verse is there also. But if at all one is trying to, then you study this Bhagavatam properly and preach it vigorously. That will pleases me, that will pay off this debt of spiritual master. That is the thing we should do. We should take up, whether we understand, not understand. It is definitely, Bhagavatam is not that easy, to understand. It has so many points, so many things are there. But slowly, by cultivation, one round, second round, third round, then slowly we get it. Practice makes a man perfect. What will happen? Tadaraja tamo bhavak kama loba dayasthya chetayataya ranavidam stitam satya prasidate. Here it is said that as soon as we regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? Irrevocable loving service established in the heart. The effect of nature of more passion, ignorance, such as loss, desire, hankering disappear from the heart. Then devotee is established in mode of goodness. He becomes completely happy. Whole idea is stumbling block is mode of passion and ignorance. Not much of mode of goodness, because mode of goodness is very prerequisite for cultivating Krishna consciousness. But mode of passion and ignorance we cannot, because mode of passion and ignorance you are disturbed. Your anxiety, bhogoischara prasaktanam. So it's very anxiety. Passion means full of bhogoischara. Ignorance, mode of ignorance is laziness, sleeping. You are sleeping, you are after money, after so many things, passion. How can you focus on Krishna? How can you focus on hearing about him? How can you focus on cultivating? It's not possible. Mode of goodness, we are peaceful. Therefore, it is stated that mode of goodness only is important, like prerequisite. One cannot approach Krishna, one cannot cultivate, one cannot chant also when he is mode of passion and ignorance. You can ask those who are going to office and all, if there's a meeting, there is so much pressure in the work, they will not remember Krishna. No way they will remember Krishna, because they are into mode of passion, ignorance. Therefore, it is stated in these beautiful verses in Bhagavatam also, that when the living entity becomes strongly situated in mode of goodness, then religious principle characterized by devotional service unto me become prominent. See, everything Bhagavatam is so connected, One can strengthen the mode of goodness by cultivating those things that are already situated in goodness. Thus, religious principle arise. See, that is an important point. Again, to strengthen mode of goodness, you have to cultivate those things that are already situated in goodness, not that those who are situated in passion. So we have to come to mode of goodness and practice also. Because there is a conflict, sometimes mode of passion, sometimes when you are in a lower mode, there is always a conflict between modes. It is stated in this Bhagavad Gita 14:10. Sometimes the mode of goodness become prominent, defeating mode of passion and ignorance. Sometimes mode of passion defeat goodness, ignorance. Other time ignorance defeat goodness and passion. In this way, there is always a competition for supremacy. That's the problem in modes. We cannot remain in mode of goodness. Therefore, slowly, after coming to mode of goodness, we should also transcend. We should be promoted more and more. Therefore, that verse says that you have to strengthen the mode of goodness again, so that we can come to Sudasatta platform, Vasudeva platform, transcendental goodness, not material goodness. So moving to the verses, then Krishna say, then the next verses is Evam Prasanna Manasa Bhagavat Bhakti Yogato Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sankadayate. So one has to surpass the Brahminical stage, reach Vasudeva stage to understand personality of God. The Brahminical stage, Brahminical stage is this goodness, mode of goodness. Sama, Dhamma, Tapa, Socha, all this quality of Brahminical, they are in mode of goodness. Mode of passion, they do not want. If you go to a person so much passionate, he will not be taking bath. His house is so bad, everything disorganized, disoriented, not so regular habit, and mode of passion and ignorance is forget about it. But mode of goodness means is very regular, routine, clean. So Brahminical stage. Then but it is not safe to be in a Brahmin mode of goodness. As we have read that, it can be defeated by other modes also. Depends on circumstances. Therefore, we should come to the Vasudeva stage to understand the personality of Godhead. Science of personality of Godhead is subject matter for the study of postgraduate study in spiritual life. A very beautiful Prabhupada is written. That means Bhagavatam is a postgraduate curriculum on the science of Godhead. So here it is said that to how, because many people do not know the process of coming. Simply by hearing regularly Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, one is slowly come to the mode of goodness. And from the mode of goodness, he will come to the Vasudeva study. Evam Prasanna Manasa means thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness. That means slowly will strengthen the mode of goodness and come to the point of Krishna consciousness, whose mind has been enlivened by the contact with devotional service to the Lord. Gain positive scientific knowledge of personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material assurance. Unless one understands Krishna, one cannot get love of Godhead, cannot be liberated. We have to understand a person of Krishna. Dharma karma chame divyam evan ja beti tattataha takta deham punarjanmana iti mameti sodana. One has to know scientifically, tattva means in truth. Bhaktya mam avijananti, javanja chasmi tattva, in truth. In truth. Unless you, in truth means in scientific, not sentimentally. Oh, I know Krishna from Vrindavan. Indians means I know Krishna. But it's very difficult to know Krishna sentimentally. But properly, if you know and scientifically, it has to go through the process of hearing regularly the Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha, and come to the point of mode of goodness, then strengthen the mode of goodness to come to the Brahmavutta stage, that is Evam Prasanna Manasa. No, Prasanna Manasa means there is no disturbances, peaceful. Mind is not hankering. Na sochati na kankyati, samaha sarvabhutesu madabhakti lavate param. Bhagavad Gita, 1855. 1854. So Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Brahmavutta, that is called Brahmavutta stage. Brahmavutta prasanatma na sochati na kankyati, samaha sarvabhutesu madabhaktim lavate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotion. That is what I was reading about the quality of yesterday. I posted one beautiful post like different qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj has this quality. He is not hankering for all the things. He is a Brahmavutta state. He is not hankering for material desire, footive activities, all the things. So many beautiful qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. So here in this body, it says that qualities of Maharaj Prahlad, son of Hiranyakashipu, described. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana. That means his mode of goodness, more than that. Having very good character, being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of the senses, mind like super soul. He was kind to every living entity, was to be friend of everyone, to respectful person and act like a menial servant. So no, in the second verses, the next one is telling, next one this point is there. Point is mentioned. Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of Asura. He himself was not Asura, but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike other Asura, he was never envious of Vaishnava. That is one point. He was not agitated when put into danger. He was neither directly nor directly interested in footive activities described in the Veda. Indeed, he is considered everything material to be useless. Therefore, he was completely devoid of material desire. So that is what, when you are desires, then you will have a hankering. So devotee should not have some desires. So therefore, it is said that Evan Prasanna Manasa. Brahmavutta stage na sochati na kankyati. He is not lamenting because he has no desire. All is desire. Desire is due to mode of passion, ignorance, sometimes mode of goodness also. So this all inauspicious things, all the infection from the heart will be cleansed by the process of hearing. He is no more interested, only interested in Krishna Katha. Then he is eligible to go back to Godhead. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, all the misgiving are cut into pieces, the chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as a master. See, that is the important point. This enlightenment of scientific knowledge of personality of Godhead perfectly enables the devotee to distinguish between spirit and matter. That is important. When you enlighten the scientific knowledge that Krishna, who is Krishna, what is my relationship, what is my duty, then you can distinguish what is spirit, what is matter. Then we can, all the false ego, false prestige, false everything, when we identify due to we are identifying with matter, that I am the body, I am this, I am from family, I am from this country, I am white, I am black, it will be all gone. Unless you come to the stage of this scientific knowledge, Bhagavata Tattva Vijnanam. Previous verses say Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam means scientific knowledge of understanding absolute truth. That will come. Otherwise, you cannot distinguish what is matter, what is spirit, what is to associate, what is not to associate. You cannot know. So Prabhupada in this beautiful Bhagavatam, favorite verses of Prabhupada, one of the favorite, not Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, 7.1. So here Prabhupada also mentioned this one. Prabhupada mentioned this one. The Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Jogam Janjanmadasraya Samsam Samagrama Yatha Gyasa Sitasruno. The Supreme Personality of God says, now here the son of Partha, how practicing of yoga in full conscious of me, whose mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So we can know me in full. How to know? Practicing yoga. What is this practicing yoga? Practicing yoga means hearing about Krishna Katha. Prabhupada is in purport, he is giving that this is what all these verses in the purport Prabhupada is given. Sinmatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Sarvana. How to understand the absolute truth. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth is described in the second chapter of first canto. See, Prabhupada has given all these things. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literature or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita itself is righteous activity. See how much Prabhupada is giving and for one who hears about Krishna and Lord Krishna, who is hear about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, act as the best wishing friend and purify the devotee who constantly engage in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develop his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, that is important, from the devotee, and he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance. Same thing, Tadaraj Tamo Bhav. All the ignorance, passion will be free. Thus, material lost, avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, become enlivened by devotional service, and understand the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection, enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsam Samagram, understanding the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. See? Very, very important, very important. Therefore, these verses today's, all these verses Prabhupada is quoting it. That how it is so important to come to the point of understanding. Without understanding how to get out from here. Janma karma chame divyam. You have to understand me, Arjuna. Bhaktya mama vijananti. And the process of understanding Krishna is very simple. Hearing, and please all our passion, ignorance, inauspicious thing, come to the mode of pure goodness and live by transcendental devotional service, then we can understand, sir. This is the process of coming Krishna consciousness. Easiest sublime process actually. So then we can move forward because we have time constant. Otherwise, there is so many things to be spoken in in that matter, in that way, in that subject matter. Certainly, therefore, since time memorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to the Lord Krishna, the personality of God, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to itself. So here it is said that already people are doing the same process following. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, ignorance, passion, goodness, and ignorance. Just for the material world's creation, maintenance, destruction, as said the three quality form of Brahma, Vishnu, Lord Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. See, very important. Sometimes say that this Purusha avatar, they are asking about the activities in Purusha avatar. In Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Lord has taken three forms, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Although Lord has taken three forms, but here it is particularly stated is that Lord is not coming directly, indirectly is associating. Because Lord cannot be directly associated. Maya is different. Lord, wherever there is Maya, there cannot be Krishna. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Andhakar. How he can be directly associated? There is no possibility. So therefore, it is indirectly. Rudra, we say Rudra. Sadasiva, Sadasiva. Sadasiva is actually manifestation of this Gunavatar for the purpose of this mode of ignorance. So Lord Shiva. So he is indirectly associated with Gunavatar. But Vishnu, although he is mode of goodness, but he is not contaminated. He is not, he is free from all the things. You can derive ultimate benefit for Vishnu because Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma cannot give the liberation. They cannot give. It is stated in these beautiful verses. So many verses are there. Lord Shiva say that even this verse also there in demigods are speaking about. No, forget what is that liberation. Mukti Pradayata. Mukti Pradayata. So there two verses are there. So Mukti 10:51-21, say I 22 mistake. So here also it is stated by demigods that address thus King Muchukunda took his respectful leave of the demigods, went to a cave where they lay down angels. What? It should be a verses 22 or 20. All good fortune to you. Now please choose a benediction from us, anything but liberation, since only infallible Supreme Lord Vishnu can bestow that. So nobody can bestow this liberation. Even Lord Shiva said that I cannot. Mukti Pradayata Vishnu. Vishnu Soyava Nasansaya. So only Vishnu can give the, let's say, they can liberate us. Even Lord Shiva is not unable to. What to speak out of Brahma? Even Lord Shiva cannot give that. So this is the thing. So here it is said that Lord Vishnu, although he has a Gunavatara, but he can give us liberation. Then firewood transformation, but this is the question and answer. The third and fourth question actually is answered here. Firewood is transformation of the earth, but smoke is better than raw wood. Fire is still better. For by fire one can derive benefit of superior knowledge, though Vedic sacrifices, through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, raja is better than ignorance. But goodness is best because goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth. So it is said that although passion, ignorance one can come, one cannot come, only through mode of goodness. Although there is a firewood transformation of the earth, but one cannot derive anything from the earth. From the wood. We need smoke. Smoke is better than the wood, and fire is better than the smoke. Similarly, although all this coming out from the same Supreme Lord, Gunavatara, Lord Vishnu, Shiva, and all the Gunavatara of Supreme Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, but one cannot derive any benefit from the Brahma and Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, but one can derive from the Lord Vishnu. His example has been given. So that is very important to understand. Previously, all great sages render service unto the personality of God due to his existence above the three modes of material nature. They worship him to become free from material conditions. Thus, they derive ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such a great authority is eligible for liberation from the material world. That is the main thing, because whosoever follow the Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, so they will get the liberation, because only he is eligible to give liberation. Nobody else. Nobody else can give the liberation, because Lord is above the modes of nature. On the other end, Lord Shiva is associating with Parvati, which is in charge of Maya, is Maya Devi. So there is some contamination is there. And Lord Brahma is already in the modes of material nature. He is in the material world. Therefore, Krishna says, Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punaravartina Arjuna. Up to Brahma Lok also, they are all contaminated. Therefore, they take the bath after bath. They take repeated bath. But Krishna is not. Harir Nirguna, Sakshat Nirguna. He is above this modes of material nature. Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, I am above these modes. Therefore, this Krishna saying this, I am above this all these modes of material nature. Trivir guna mayar bhavai evi sarvam idam jagat mohitam navijananti mam ebhya param abhyam. Krishna says you are deluded by three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. The whole world does not know me, but who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Therefore, the Lord is above the modes, so he is only can liberate. Just like a binding person. A person is bound. He cannot release other bound person. Only those who are unbound or released free, he can unbound the person. Similarly, the Lord is not affected by the modes. He is above the mode. Therefore, he can liberate us. The next verse, it is said that those who are serious about liberation are certainly non-envious. They respect all, yet they reject the horrible, ghastly forms of demigods, and they worship only all blissful form of Lord Vishnu and his plenary person. Very important point. He said that the demigod worship, but those who are serious about liberation and certainly non-envious, they respect everyone. They respect even demigods also, but they do not worship, because demigod cannot give liberation. Demigods cannot give the liberation. Those who are not, yesterday classes I told in Bhagavad Gita 7:20 to 7:23, that those who are not intelligent, they worship the demigods, and their fruits also very limited. Antavatatum phalam teisam tad bhavanti alpamedasam. Here Krishna categorically mentioned that men of small intelligence worship the demigods. Their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigod go to the planets of demigod. But my devotee ultimately reach my supreme planet. If you go to demigod planet, what is the wrong? But Krishna says that there is a wrong. You have to come back again, fall down. Again you have to fall down. Because Brahma Bhuvala Anuloka Punaravartina Arjuna. See, Krishna said that from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, where repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Therefore, the intelligent person who are very serious about liberation, they do not worship the demigods. Although they respect, but they do not pray for this. They do not worship the demigods. There are so many verses in the demigods, but we have little time shortage. So therefore, it is said that Vasudeva para Deveda, Vasudeva para Mokya, Vasudeva para Jogo, Vasudeva para Kriya, Vasudeva param Jnanam, Vasudeva param Tapa, Vasudeva para Dharma, Vasudeva para Gati. So it is very nicely stated that in the revealed scripture, ultimate object of knowledge is Krishna, personality of God. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please him. Yoga is for realizing him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by him only. His supreme knowledge, all the severe austerity are performed to know him. Religion is rendering service to him. He is the supreme goal of life. Vasudeva Parahagati. Parahagati means absolute, supreme goal, ultimate goal. Nate Viddu Swata Gati me Vishnu. Our ultimate goal is supreme goal is Vishnu. Prahlad Maharaj also said that Nate Viddu Swata Gati me Vishnu. Vishnu is our ultimate goal, nobody else. Person who was strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted the leader or guru similar blind to men attached to external sense objects cannot understand the goal of life to return home back to God. Engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. See, this is the thing. Lord Vishnu is the main, our goal of life. Ultimate. Therefore, I showed you one verse. Prahlad Maharaj is saying that Ekanta Bhakti Govinde. Ekanta Bhakti Govinde. That is ultimate goal of life. So then we are moving the next one, that it is said that in the beginning of the material creation, the absolute personality of Godhead, Vasudeva in his transcendental position created energy, cause and effect by his own internal energy. After creating the material substances, the Lord Vasudeva expand himself, enter into it. Although he is within the material modes of nature, appears to be one of the created beings. He is always fully enlightened in his transcendence. This is what how the things have been created. In the beginning, there was nothing. So in beginning, so Lord has created all these material ingredients and his all the things, and he himself enter into that. Is Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu created all the there are three Vishnu is there. This Guna Avatar, this Purusha Avatar. Mahavishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu. I am not giving you a lot of time here because we have to move forward. Mahavishnu is where all this ingredient for material creation is created by Mahavishnu. Then after creating all these ingredients, and Lord enter into by Garbhodakasai Vishnu, enter into each world. And as a Kshirodakasai Vishnu, he may enter into every living entity heart. And even in the atom. Andantarastha Chayantarastham. Govindam Adipurusha. In this way, whole material world is created. The Lord is as a super soul, pervades all things just as fire permeates in the wood. So he appears to be many varieties, although he is absolute one without second. The super soul enter into the bodies of the created being who are influenced by the modes of material nature, cause them to enjoy effects of these modes by subtle mind. Thus the Lord of universe maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men, lower animal, assuming the roles of incarnation and perform the pastime to reclaim those reclaim those in mode of pure goodness. So here the question has been asked, what is the question? Purpose of Krishna's appearance, of Devaki and Purusha Avatar. So these two things has been explained in this verses in very briefly. Purusha Avatar means Mahavishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu. Purpose of Krishna's appearance, why Krishna appeared? It is stated that to reclaim those who are in the mode of pure goodness. So Krishna has come to reclaim the conditioned soul, those who are in devotees, mode of pure goodness. Bhavati esa satyena lokan loko bhavana. So because to reclaim the conditioned soul, so he has come he appear in the womb of the devotee. It is stated in these beautiful verses. Before I wind up, you can see these verses. So it is stated in this verse that, O Supreme Controller, your Lordship is previously accepted as incarnation as a feast, horse, tortoise, Narsingadev, boar, swan, Lord Ramachandra, Parsuram, among the demigods, Baman Dev, to protect the entire world by your mercy. Now please protect us again by your mercy by diminishing the disturbance in the world. Krishna, the best of Jadu, we respectfully offer obeisance unto me. See, these are demigod is praying that please, now you have appeared for that purpose. Please deliver us. To reclaim the conditioned soul, please come and deliver us, protect us. That is the whole idea. Therefore, it is said that Krishna's Krishna is coming, etacham sakala punsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Soyam Indrari Vakulam Lokam Mudhyante Juge Juge. All of the above mentioned incarnation are either plenary person or person of the plenary person of the Lord. But Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on the planet whenever there is a disturbance created by atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. So this is the purpose of his come in the womb of the Devaki. To protect the theist, to reclaim the conditioned soul. Pritranaya sadhuna vinasya diskritam. And he comes to different incarnation, Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Lila avatar, so many avatar, Asankhya avatar. So the next chapter we will be studying about the different incarnation Lord appears. So before that, if I have, I will show you one. So here Krishna says that with Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there material nature, the cause of all this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. After annihilations, I, the personality of Godhead, after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of God. So Krishna said, before creation, I was existing. During creation, I am there. I am the cause of this creation. And after the annihilation of this, because this material world is a temporary manifestation. Bhuta praliyate, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 22 or 23. Like this. Bhuta praliyate. Is sometime manifesting, sometime unmanifesting. So therefore, before creation, Krishna was there. He is the cause of, he created this, and during creation also he is there as a Garbhodakya Vishnu, Kshirodakya Vishnu, Mahavishnu, all the things. And after the annihilation, he remained the same. So he is all in all. That is the understanding of how this world is. Sometimes the people say how the world is created. This is the world is created like this. Lord wanted to create this world to give facility for a conditioned soul to reclaim. That is also there in beautiful verses. In the next session, I will be speaking on that particular things. That how Lord is incarnation, why he is incarnation. That not that he desired to get the incarnation, but he created for the purpose to reclaim the conditioned souls. Just like a government is creating a jail to reforming the criminals. Similarly, he is doing that. We are criminals. Our material existence is the evidence or testimonial that we are all criminals. So he is coming to release us, reform us, rehabilitate us, reform us. Therefore, he created this material world. So thank you very much. This is the end of the canto, chapter 1, canto 1, chapter 2, where Sutta Goswami is offering obeisances to Sukadev Goswami and invocation prayer before he starting Bhagavatam. Then the question which has been asked in the chapter 1, the 6 questions, out of 6 questions, 4 has been answered in this chapter. And third chapter, rest of the 2 questions will be answered. So he answered about the ultimate good, as essence of all scripture, bhakti. And also we have learned that how to get that bhakti by hearing process, systematic hearing process, Bhagavatam. By hearing process, we will come to the mode of goodness. Then again, we can go to mode of pure goodness. In pure goodness, we will do the service to the Lord and understand the scientific, we will gain scientific knowledge of the God. Then slowly, all this reaction knots, all this material knots, everything will be slackened and loosened. Then we will be eligible to go back to Godhead. And particularly whom to pray, although he has so many Purusha Avatara, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, but Vishnu has to be prayed because he only can give the ultimate benediction because he is beyond the modes of goodness. Then we have learned that the third question, the purpose of Krishna appearance of whom of the Devaki to reclaim the conditioned soul, and Purusha Avatara is for this creation. He took as a Mahavishnu, Garbhodakya Vishnu, Kshirodakya Vishnu. So that is briefly has been answered. So in next class, we will learn about the next two questions about the incarnation. That time we will little elaborate how the Mahavishnu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking about the creation to Sanatana Goswami more profoundly, more deeply. That how the creation take place by Mahavishnu. But we will go little touch it, not so deeply, not necessary, but so much technicality is there. But little bit of we'll go there. And then we'll jump to the incarnation, different incarnation. What is the purpose? So many incarnation has been mentioned. Thank you very much. If you have any question, anything we can, is there any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. That
Yes.
Thank you very much for so much effort, Prabhu. And this wood, smoke and fire, that one I could not understand actually.
Oh, that, okay. Let me explain you. This like a wood. Fire is important, but fire is everything is the transformation of the earth. Wood is, what is the wood? Wood means tree. Tree is coming from earth, right?
Right.
The tree is coming, that means earth is like a Krishna. From Krishna is coming the wood. But wood is not necessary. But smoke is more important than smoke is coming from where? Wood. Fire is coming from the smoke. So all this Gunavatara is coming from Krishna. But our main purpose is not wood. Wood will not help us to cooking, right? A smoke also will help us. Ultimately, who is going to help fire? Although three are Gunavatara of Krishna, but Vishnu is most important for us. Because he is in mode of, beyond the mode of goodness, and he can only give the liberation. That is what actually the verses say that.
Okay.
Although this transformation, three are the transformation of the earth. It is coming from the earth only. Wood is coming from the earth. From the wood, smoke is coming. From the smoke, fire is coming. That means in a way, everything's root cause is earth. But all the three manifestations are there. But fire is important. Because fire only we can cook. We need fire.
Okay.
Ultimately, our purpose of wood and smoke is fire only.
Okay. That means wood is Brahma and smoke is Shiva and fire is Vishnu.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, this today Akshaya is some important, but Prabhupada did not mention whatever Akshaya. It's fine. Today is actually the construction of Ratha chariot. It begins in Puri Jagannath temple. So anyway, any other question? If there is no question, we can stop here. We can continue as Prabhuji, there is one sloka. It is mentioned that Supreme Personality God will appear in the heart when we attentively hear. So Krishna will replace the Paramatma to those pure devotees. Not replace. No, Krishna will not replace Paramatma. Krishna will manifest it. See, if Krishna is there in Paramatma, but we do not realize that. There is no manifestation of the Krishna. Krishna will manifest in the heart. Avarudyate. Avarudyate means Krishna enter into the whole, means when Krishna Katha enter, Krishna manifest himself actively to clean that. Now he is dormant. He is only witnessing whatever you are doing. Main processes God disposes. But as soon as you hear, Hari will be attracted. Oh, he is hearing. He is manifest himself. As a Krishna Katha, he will enter into this Paramatma. He is not replacing. The Paramatma is always there. He is not replacing it. He is entering to the activators, cleansing process to make us cleanse our all the inauspicious thing. It's not like replacing the Paramatma. Paramatma is always there. Paramatma. As long as we are a material body, Paramatma is there. Unless you got the spiritual identity, Paramatma will not be there. As long as we are in material existence, there is a Paramatma. Even everywhere there is a Paramatma. Virus, even small virus has got the spirit soul, super soul is there. So Krishna enter means he will he will enter in the manifestation of Hari Katha. Because Krishna and Krishna Katha is non-different. Krishna and Krishna Katha is non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishnasya Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punna Suddha Nitya Mukta Abhinattu Nama Namina. Krishna, his hearing, his paraphernalia non-different. So he will enter through the ear as a Hari Katha. He will not replace, he will come and clean this one. As a Hari Katha, as a manifestation of Hari. Because Krishna is also a literally incarnation. Bhagavatam is called literally incarnation of Hari. As soon as we hear Bhagavatam, Krishna as a literally incarnation, he will come. Just like we are chanting as Nama Avatar. As soon as we chant Nama Avatar, Lord is incarnated in the heart, in the tongue. He is not replacing Paramatma. He is incarnating as a, just like spiritual master also incarnation of the God, external manifestation of the Supreme Lord. He is coming, he is not replacing Paramatma, but he is helping us. Paramatma is supervisor of our activities. So he is come to help in a different manifestation. Lord is always eager to come in different manifestation to cleanse us, to purify us. So that is the meaning of it is stated in all verses. Krishna enter into the earth as a literally incarnation, as a Hari Katha. Hari Katha attracts Hari. So thank you very much. We will stop here. We will continue the next session about the incarnation. Then we can finish the 6th question, answer of 6th question. Then we slowly move chapter by chapter. We can finish all chapter in one day actually. I will go a little bit of thematically, so that because there are 365 or something section is there. I forget 300 plus 350 or 64 section chapter is there. So it's very difficult for us to complete. Therefore, we will slowly will finish one by one chapter. If possible, sometimes we go ahead with 2 chapters. As we have grip of Bhagavatam, slowly we can advance. I mean, we will finish the themes so that we can at least finish 1.5 years, 1 year, 1.5 years. We can finish a lot of things. Lot of things we can learn actually. Thank you very much. Yes.
This question, what Prabhu has asked, Krishna will replace Paramatma to those pure devotees. Replace means transformation of Paramatma to Chaitya Guru, like Krishna.
Krishna is Paramatma also Chaitya Guru. Krishna is a Paramatma is already a Chaitya Guru. Already a Chaitya Guru, Paramatma. See, Paramatma also, Prabhupada say na, in this beautiful verses it is stated this. Say, Krishna is already a Chaitya Guru as a Paramatma. No need for another Chaitya Guru. See, but he is coming to help us. He can come many incarnations to help us. What is there in different manifestations? Oh my Lord, transcendental poet and expert in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you. Even if they were endowed with prolonged lifetime of Brahma, for you appear in 2 features, externally as a Acharya, internally as a super soul. See, to deliver the embodied living beings by directing him how to come to you. So it is already a Chaitya Guru, he is already there directing that. But when you hear Krishna Katha, when you hear about Krishna, he is more interested. He can come as a manifestation of Hari Katha, enter into our heart to cleanse it and go. And he will stay there, Hari Katha. It doesn't matter that, no, how you do not say that technically will change it to Paramatma or something like that. He will incarnate as a manifested in the heart. That means you realize the Paramatma. You activate Paramatma. You can say like this. There is a verse is that why Krishna is there in every heart, but everybody is not realizing his presence of super soul, because it is the mode of passion and ignorance, inauspicious thing in the heart, lost inauspicious thing. Therefore, we are not realizing his presence. So that realization of this Paramatma will be there when there is a cleansing process. That cleansing process will be done by the Hari Katha. Hari Katha will come and cleanse that up. Then we will be realizing, oh, the Paramatma, super soul in the heart. That is the thing. So whole idea is to hear Hari Katha. Then it attracts the Hari. Hari Katha attracts Hari. There are so many verses, because of time constant I did not, but in course of time our Bhagavatam we will encounter so many verses of importance of hearing. So many. Krishna himself says, the devotee himself says. Whole Bhagavatam is full of this narration of activities. Whole idea of Bhagavatam speaking to hear, because Parikshit Maharaj is asking that I am now death bound. What is the purpose of supposing a person who is going to die? What is the best thing to do? In these beautiful verses, 119:37, he is asking us, Mriyamanayam so sarvataha. That means he is asking, You are my spiritual, you are the spiritual master of great saint and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially for one who is about to die. Actually, everybody is about to die. What is the real purpose? What is the best things to do when you are supposing one going to die? Everybody is padam padam yad padam. So to answer this, the Sukadev Goswami is answering Parikshit Maharaj. Very beginning only he answered everything. Then he's practically explaining that what is practically showing, practically narrating whole Bhagavatam. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwara Hari Shruteva Kititebhyacha Smateva Cha Icchata Vayam. So, O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be freed from all misery must hear about, glorify, also remember personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, the savior from all misery. See, you have to glorify, remember the personality of Godhead. That is whole idea is there. So therefore, this hearing process is very important. So whole Bhagavatam is spoken for that purpose, that let the Parikshit Maharaj get a chance to hear about Harikatha and get liberated. And he got eventually got liberated. 12th canto, we understood, we have read that how Parikshit Maharaj got liberated. So this is the point. So thank you very much. Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All goes to all the devotees who have presented here. Thank you very much for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.